Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider a subscribe, like this video if it is that you enjoy it, and turn on that notification bell to keep up with my latest videos. In this video, I touch base on the Islamic Muslim marriage market, and I have a list of clips here that I will be reacting to, inshallah.
Send this to someone who's looking to get married in 2026. If it's written for you this year, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala write the best spouse for you, one who supports your deen and brings you closer to Him. And remember, trust His timing, for every delay might be a divine preparation. Until then, keep bettering yourself, keep making dua, and keep preparing your heart. Inshallah, your story will unfold beautifully.
Yeah, so now, in the West, in the Western culture, you have this idea of like Disney fairy tale type sentiments, Hollywood and what have you, in terms of the love aspect. Now, I mean, it's all good and well in terms of, love being that center-based idea. But what it does is, what these mediums, I would call it, does is that it kind of like deludes a lot of people, and I think maybe especially the sisters, because they're more prone, they're more aligned to these emotional things, and so we have this idea of like, marriage being all about feeling and love and these emotions that kind of get in the way in terms of the reality, the reality of things. When perhaps times are a bit tough, or when it's required to kind of like step back a little, and even when it comes to the nature of man and woman, again, I feel that perhaps the sisters, and it is actually the case where the sisters are more aligned to these types of things, to the fairy tale emotional aspect, towards where men are not so much inclined towards that. I think their function in of itself requires them more to be less deluded, let's say. Sorry to say the word, but I mean, they're the ones that need to grind. And it's, in today's culture, it's whether Muslim or non-Muslim, women are saying that they need men to step up, and they want men to, be functional, be a supportive, strong, protective, resourceful man. But with that comes the idea that, not the idea, that the reality that, then a man needs to work, he needs to be busy, he needs to be engaged in his projects and his goals. But that does not mean that he should not be in line with these emotional things, with these aspects that which women do appreciate in terms of the emotional intelligence, the emotional availability, sympathy, empathy, softness, and all those things, So, I mean, finding that balance is the case.
When a woman gets married, what is aqd al-nikah? What is the contract of marriage? Aqd. What does it mean? In Islamic terms, it means, listen carefully, the transfer of the responsibility of guardianship and care and protection from the father to the new husband of his daughter, from him to her. If the man divorces her, she returns back to the guardianship and care and protection of her father. If the father is not there, it's her brother. If the brother is not there, it's her uncle. If the uncle is not there, it is her maternal uncle. If he is not there, if she has an older son, it's her son. If they are not there, it is upon the whole community, and it is a fard ayn, a compulsory thing upon the community, Muslim community, to care for and protect and look after her. And this is not for the man. This is only for the woman. How precious is she that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about her. You must care for and monitor her, and not hold on to every fault.
My young brother, if you're trying to marry a girl, and wallah, I'm speaking to you here, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Brother, if you're speaking to a girl without her father's knowledge, and yeah, I'm going to give you that your intention is good, but as soon as you know, my brother, that her father doesn't want you, and you genuinely tried and he doesn't accept, have some shame, have some dignity, have some sharaf. Leave her and walk away. Because you don't know the har'a in the heart, bro. When you watch your daughter grow and you bleed and you cry and you do everything you can so that there's a roof over her head, right? And then she comes and she brings you a guy, Matarif Aslu Mannan, where he came from, where he started, where he ended, and she comes and she says, but wallah, dad, look, I'm in love. We have to be conscious of ourselves, my young brothers. Life is not fair. Get over it. Life is about ta'ah, obedience.
I mean, this is unfortunately the case that, you'll get some brothers who will try and then uh, not succeed, you know, um, whether it's through the girl or the woman herself, or better so, her father. And I think, that should just be, you should understand that, because I think, I mean, as a father, you would tend to have this very strong ghira, this very strong uh, protectiveness, this jealousy over your daughter, because I mean, you would want her to be in the best of care. I mean, you as a father, you strive your utmost to ensure that your daughter is safe and sound and healthy and fulfilled as a person, as a woman, Um, and then for a strange young or strange man to then come and take over is not always the easiest task. Um, and I think that should be understood. But then again, as I think if you are a wise father, you would see the that what is actually important within the potential, or the one pursuing your daughter, in a sense where it's not completely or all about. Actually, what I do think is that with a lot of modern fathers, even Muslim fathers, they have these type of expectation. I think I call it uh, fathers have a sense of hypergamy as well. And hypergamy, if we want to just understand the word, it's basically a woman will marry or partner with someone who is equal or higher than her. And I mean, the father would tend to have that as well, in terms of ensuring that his daughter is going to be safe and sound within the marriage. So, but what I'd like to point out is that it's not always about the finances or the husband's wealth, or even like social status, um, in terms of wealth, in terms of like class, you know. Um, and I think a lot of fathers make that mistake, because I mean, a brother can be fairly wealthy and he may look the part in terms of what he has. He has the nice car, he has the nice job, the house perhaps, and so on and so forth. But perhaps his deen is not uh, on the right track. And I think that should be priority number one. If the brother pursuing his daughter has a strong sense of Islamic grounding, and I think that is uh, the first thing to check. Um, but of course, the brother needs to have some sort of resourcefulness about him, so that he can obviously take care and ensure his daughter is within a sound and safe environment, a safe marriage. Uh, these things are natural. And I think Islam again wins on this one. Whereas in Western culture, and I always refer to Western culture because a lot of us are unfortunately within the sphere where the parents are not involved, the father's not involved. It's just like um, men and women getting together freely, and it often happens so where, because women are more emotionally inclined, they attach too quickly, and uh, you get these guys that mess around and toy with uh, with women's hearts and futures actually. So yeah, again, Islam wins on this one, involving the parents, involving the family, involving uh, another man, especially a father. He would know uh, what it is to be a man. Perhaps he went through similar things himself, when he got married. And so he would know how to fish out all the negatives and look out for the positives. While perhaps his daughter might not see that. All she sees is just, uh, rose petals and fairy dust in front of her because it's natural for her to feel so when he is being pursued, perhaps.